Hello, racing fans. Welcome back to the Community Team Cup. Match day 9. It is already getting closer to the end of the regular season. Yeah. Here we go. And we're starting with P1R versus RA today. So, hello everybody in chat. And let's go quickly through the quick facts. So what is CTC, Community Team Cup? An organized team versus team league. We have 12 teams in total from 10 communities this season. This means we are running 2 groups with 6 teams each. We have 10 match days in total for the regular season. So, and every team has 1 home and 1 away match against the other teams in their group. Then the 2 group winners will advance to the grand final. That will be taking place in December, right before Christmas. It is 1 race per match day, roughly 45 minutes in time. This will get translated into a fixed number of laps. The home team, they have some privileges, right? They can decide the match day settings, the car, the track, the weather, multipliers for fuel tires, and also the refuel rate, as well as the available and mandatory tire compounds. And for the tracks and the cars, there is a common pool for all teams for the season to pick from. Once you pick a car and a track, that's gone for the rest of the season for you, but pretty sure you all know that. So we can go to race facts today. So have a look at the settings for match day 9. It's a Group B match. P1R sitting in P1 and Race Asylum in P3 currently in the standings. And it will be the Ford GT race car, the Group 3 thingy at the Le Circuit des Sainte-Croix. Layout B in reverse, 19 laps will be the race distance. The multipliers for tires, fuel and refuel rate, see it on the screen. We have a lovely sunny day in the afternoon with a ×3 time progression, and all tire compounds are available, no mandatory. So interesting to see what strategies the teams will be running. And direct matchup so far after 8 match days. P1R with 7 wins and 1 loss, sitting there on top of Group B with 21 points. Race Asylum with 15 points, 5 wins, 3 losses so far that season. Let's have a look at today's driver lineups for both of the teams. Very well-known names here. All did a couple of races in this season for both teams, so could be an interesting one. Let's also have a quick look at the schedule for match day number 9. So this is the first match we're seeing. Tomorrow we have ART versus DTR. That will be covered on the Dream Team Racing YouTube channel for you. And then on Sunday we have 3 matches, like MRL versus Gen X. That will be live on Gen X Racing, the YouTube channel. AHR versus ZFS. It will be Schick who will be broadcasting this, probably on his own YouTube channel, or maybe the ZFS. We'll find out tomorrow. And then also we have BFS versus CLR. This will be covered here on the CTC YouTube channel with me on comms again. And then to finish match day number 9 in a week's time, we have P1RX versus TCR, also scheduled to run on this very well channel. And a quick look at the standings after 8 match days for both groups. So today, look to the right hand side, it's Group B. So as we've touched upon, P1R's in P1, Salem in P3, tied on points with ZFS for P2, and also AHR in P4. So all 3 teams with 5 victories and 3 losses so far throughout the season. So yeah, if P1R wins today, so they are the winners of Group B. So this might be interesting. You also see that P1RX is also sitting on top of Gr.B. So it looks like we will get the grand final between P1RX and P1R. Wow. In a team battle. We'll wait and see what happens. Still, yeah, 2 match days to go. But yeah, looking good for Project 1 Racing with both teams there in pole position currently here. Standings. So, what are we doing for today? The track in France, introduced with Gran Turismo Sport. It's layout B in reverse, so the first sector, quite interesting. The uphill asses. Of course, we have long straights, power sections. The bridge section, a very important one. So the entry and the exit to that section, very crucial. And yeah, with the open strategy, this might be an interesting one. So don't think the softs will last for the entire race. Pretty sure that the hards also won't be a real option, but you never know. Maybe someone goes for a no-stop hard. So I expect the softs and the mediums to be used then throughout this race. Yeah, let's jump into the warm-up lobby and have a quick look at the drivers and the liveries for today's matchup. And while we are running with our Lapin GT, some bird, little bird actually, tweeted me that it was Russ' birthday yesterday. So you all know what that means. So here we go, Russ, if you're listening, a very, very happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy belated birthday, dear Russ. Happy birthday to you. Alright, so that's out of the way now, and we can focus on the racing action. So we have a look at the race asylum, take on the Ford GT, and Mike decided to get into the pits, so we have a look at Shadow running the orange, white and black we go to the P1R car, the blue, white and yellow for the team, It is so nice looking liveries. Here, as always, Slammer, the livery designer for P1R, doing the magic, and for Race Asylum it's JP with the skills in the livery designer. Yeah, so with the sunny weather we should get some good looking cars as well. So not like darkness where we barely can see the cars. It's bright sunshine, a little bit of a sun glare as well there, and I think I read we are waiting for one driver, I think that's Toby for Race Asylum, to join on the lobby, and then we'll get the qualifying session on the way. We get a little bit of a taste now. So 2:08.199 in the warm-up. That is with qualifying settings, meaning no fuel consumption, no tire wear, racing softs. There, this could be the reference then. And Toby joined the lobby, so we have the 12 drivers in, so we are good to go, I think. Maybe giving Toby half a lap of practice. And then we'll wait for the qualifying session. So qualifying, as always, 10 minutes in total. The home team, that is P1R, they'll head out first, 30 seconds. Then a gap, and then Race Asylum will leave pits. And then you can do as many laps as you want in that given qualifying time period. So looking at 2-minute plus lap times, so you 4 flying laps. And then I'm ready. Hope the drivers are as well. So, and here we go. The host and race director are fine. Good to go now with the qualifying session. Good luck, and then let's go. So the 6 P1R drivers then will hit the track now. And here we go. Get it sorted now. On the track, will we see a team slipstream qualifying or individual runs? We'll find out soon who is leading. It is our Lapin GT, the birthday boy, and Saute, Raymac, Petrol, Old Banger, and Rever. For P1R or Race Asylum, we have Mike. Lugi, Toby, Lil Nicky, the homeless snail, and a Shadow. Your 6 drivers for the Race Asylum squad. Lil Lugi. Okay. All the little ones racing for Race Asylum. So, Russ going to start. Then the first timed lap very soon, and you all know what that means. It's time to go on board cockpit camera. Let's go, approaching the final turn. Carrying the speed through that final turn. Don't touch the ball, and now it's go, go, go. Under the bridge, we start the lap now. Approaching turn number 1, roughly at the 100 boards of the curve left. Hit the apex early on the power, and now on the run uphill. Don't think it is fully flat. You see a little lift needed here on the entry, staying in 5th gear, but doing minimal inputs, steering inputs. Again, little lift needed. Started to come on the right hand side. You Drake for the left hander. Focus on the exit for the long back straight. Here we go, powering in that car, revving to the max and through the little kink. The next left hander, bit of a blind corner. 3rd gear for rotation, early on the power, and then just before the top of the crest, you brake for the bridge, 2nd gear. 3rd gear on exit, no, 2nd gear, nearly touched on the wall there. On the run over the bridge, and that bit is quite tricky. Look at the triangles, late on the brakes. A bump there in the braking zone. Close to the barrier once again in the curbs. Uphill we go into the final sector. Now long left-hander, but flat out. Start of the curve on the left-hand side. You brake once again. Downhill right. Carry the speed into the final couple of turns. The left-hander past the penalty zone is flat, and now get ready for the final turn, just between the 100 and the 50. Don't cut too much on the inside. And get the run to the line, and it's a 209, 208.8 Sorte Raymac. 208.0 for Raymac. Sorte with that 208.2. Petrol with a 0.5. Old Banger 9.4. We are missing Rever, I think. Mistake. Here come the Race Asylum drivers. Mike with a 208. No, 209.4. Only Lugi with a 209.3. Sluxy a 209.0. Lil Nicky with a 208.9 so far. And I think it is Reveria who had a bit of a moment getting out of the way. Now on his out lap. So after the first laps, it is Raymac with a 208.0 setting the pace for P1R. I think there was a little bit of slipstream maybe involved. Already faster than the times I've seen during the warm-up, at least. Sorte, he backed out of it, I think. It should be Lapin who comes round for the next time. We see some improvements. So Lapin all by himself. It's a 208.0 as well. And a 0.1 for Petrol. 0.2 for Sorted. I think that's stays as it is. Shadow with a 208.7. Fastest driver for Race Asylum. Nicky with coming round. Might get some slipstream. Mike improved to a 208.9. No improvement for Nicky. Where's Sluxy? 208.9 as well. Old Banger in P10. Toby trying to get some slipstream maybe for the next laps. And already 7.5 minutes in, so 2.5 minutes to go for this one. Rever now on his first timed lap. Massive slipstream. So was the slipstream? Yeah, it was I think Lugi, who is up to P4 with 208.2. So slipstream can be effective in this fact. And Lugi with a purple sector. So a slipstream definitely helped, I'd say. Now for the final sector, it's probably also not too bad to not get affected by the dirty air. Can Lugi jump up the order? Lost the purple, still blue though. Personal best incoming, a very low 208 is possible with a minute to go. And in this qualifying session, Lugi comes around, carries the speed, and it will be a 208.1. Stays in P4, improved Sorte in P5. Still, so we still have 30 seconds to go, so everyone is on their final lap of this qualifying. Lapin won't be improving, I think. With that 208.0, will it be enough to get pole position? Raymac also with a 208.0 in P2, and Petrol with a 0.1. And Petrol with some slipstream. Gets to the apex before the bridge. Waiting for the sector. Time to appear is 2 seconds down, so nope, this won't be an improvement. Let's have a look at Mikey. It's right behind Lugi. Maybe. Time to improve. Wait, yeah. Definitely on a personal best. How much can Mike gain? Now I think he needs to find a 10th. That is probably not doable. But that's 4 tenths for now. Also Lugi with a good lap. Both maybe up for an improvement. And the run to the line. Massive slipstream. Oh, straight up to P6 it is for Mike. Lugi stays in P4. By the looks of it. Shadow finished as well. Nicky comes around, won't be improving on this lap. Sluxy also finished the qualifying. Old Banger finished. Toby finished. Rever also done with the qualifying. So looks like we have the qualifying then sorted. Our Lapin GT taking pole position. Raymac P2 and Petrol P3. So 6 points for P1R after the qualifying. So I can and have a look at the race results and enter results into my mighty spreadsheet for live scores, or close to live after the race. Let's put it that way. Alright. So then let me see if I can find my spreadsheet. So qualifying, our Lapin GT pole position, Raymac P2 and Petrol P3. Then we have Lugi for Race Asylum in P4, Sorte for P1R in P5, Mike then 6th position, Shadow in 7th, and Little Nicky in P8. Sluxy P9 alongside with Old Banger in 10th, and then we have Toby and Rever starting next to each other. All right. So we have a short break and then we start with this race. So let's jump back to the match day settings once again. So 19 laps, you see that preset. SO1 Sunny, all racing tire compounds available, none are mandatory. Fuel times 3, tires times 4 with a 3 liter per second refueling rate. And no, I don't want to exit. So we want to actually go into spectate mode, right? Here we go. It's time for the race. Mediums on the front row, I can tell you that, or you can see it as well. Looks like everyone is on the mediums. Here we go, and we are green. Off to the races we go. Lapin and Raymac defending. P1, P2, Petrol, P3 braking for the first turn. Lugi on the inside already, side by side with Raymac. Gets a compromised run and gets his nose in front. Petrol's on the inside, no, backing out for now. So Lugi up to P3, Petrol P4, Shadow in pit position. Sluxy with a good start up to P6, and we have like 2-3 wides already through the S's. Old Banger, Mike, Little Nicky, Toby and Sorte had a big moment. He has damage. Can we see what happened? Also someone is off. That is Rever. See if we can catch what happened to Sorte now. The damage already happened. I think it was coming out of turn number 1. So Sorte now all the way at the back. 6 seconds the gap. 7 seconds to P10. Head down. 19 laps. It's still a long way to go. Lugi under pressure. Saw that. But keeps that P3. 6/10 to Raymack, and Lapin with a nice little gap already, 8/10, and pulling away our slipstream. We have side by side Rich. Old Banger, Mike and Nicky also involved. They go side by side uphill. Old Banger defends that position. This is already a Jaeger camera moment. Little Nicky showing his nose, not close enough to go for the inside. Old Banger leaves a little bit of a gap, but focuses more, I think, on corner exit. Staying in front for now, missed the apex to the final turn, gives Little Nicky the run. And Nicky pulling out of slipstream, side by side into turn number 1, and Nicky should get that position. Let's see, makes the inside. What about Toby? Tries to get the run. As well, needs to stay behind single file through the S's it is. And also we have a very close group here with Lugi, Petrol, Shadow, Sluxy and Mike. Shadow sends it down the inside and makes a nice little move. With time for a replay, I think that was a nice setup. Tight line into the left-hander, and then gets the power down and gets some slip, and we go side by side again. Ooh, and Petrol touched the wall, and I think he collected Sluxy. Unlucky for Slux. Need to go to the camera once again. So the outside Petrol, and then I think he just clipped the wall, and yeah, Sluxy with the unlucky spin. Nicky waiting for Slux, so they would gonna do the teamwork now, work together and see what's. Oh, Nicky pinned it. He's not waiting intentionally. Yeah, see, Nicky got real wing damage, so still. Both at the back of the grid, maybe they can still work together and fight their way further up the grid order. So this leaves us with Lapin and Raymack now leading with 2.4 seconds. Now with Lugi and Shadow, the two Race Asylum drivers in P3 and P4, Petrol in P5, and Mike right behind, going for a move, maybe not into the first turn, maybe coming out of the first turn, looking for the run uphill. No, not yet. I think there was quite an early upshift, so maybe this is also a race where you have to look after the fuel. Oh, Petrol right behind Shadow now, coming on to the backside, and Petrol lost it. He lost the rear on the curb. Oh, another mistake happened, and he drives directly into the wall, getting out of the way. So, you see, I maybe touched the grass there. Already dirty tires. Yeah. He didn't touch the grass on the exit, so maybe that compromised line and through the S's gave him a little bit of dirty tires and lost the rear now, so he's dropped all the way down to P11. Now the damage is gone. Nicky right behind in P12 looking for a move, maybe. See no Petrol defending his line. Sluxy in P10. But Nicky with the better exit onto the tunnel, trying to nip a little bit of a toe, but the Petrol also has the same idea. Keeps that position for now. P10, 11, and Travis goes. Oh, and Petrol once again with a mistake. That bump is so tricky coming off the bridge, and yeah, Petrol hit the barrier and gets the damage once again. Unlucky start to the race for the Swiss driver, for P1R. Lapin GT and Raymac still in the lead. 2 seconds. And Lugi and Shadow also working with each other. The same goes for Mike, who caught up with his 2 teammates in P5. So 3 race asylum drivers chasing down the 2 P1R drivers at the front. And a little gap to Old Banger in P6. Toby still within slipstream range currently, but has to probably watch his mirrors because there is a fast charging Sorte coming. Fastest lap of the race so far, lap 2. And Sorte with that incident on lap 1 up to P8 and gets the slipstream down the back straight. Rather in the bit of no man's land at the moment, and then we should see Sluxy, Nicky, and Petrol lost after that mistake. It's 3 seconds, so he's in P12 for now. Let's watch the gap between Lugi and Raymac. That's very consistent at 2.3, 2.4 seconds. But now don't see much of a difference here with the fuel consumption for now. It looks like pretty much flat out. .7 now, better middle sector, and for Lapin and Raymac increasing their lead to nearly 3 seconds. It was close for Lugi, Shadow and Mike. So now what can the 3 race asylum drivers do? Is bump drafting a thing? Maybe onto the back straight. How much will you gain? That's my question at least. Through the S's probably. The dirty air not really helpful. And the gaps with the 3 to 4 tenths. Bump might be happening just before the end of the straight. We'll see. No, not quite. No. But they have to run their pace and see what they can do. Can they catch? Sorte got the move done on Toby, who is... No, I was just looking. I was like... He had a quick look down the inside. It's now down to P8, but that's a nice little tow over the bridge. That car gets very loose downhill with that bump. So 2 Project 1 racing drivers in front of Toby in P7 and P6. I thought they with a good recovery drive up to P7 and might be able to get past his teammate as well. 7 tenths for now. Coasting through the final turn. A bit too close for comfort. I think he had to do a tiny little bit of a lift and to not hit the wall. Sloxy and Nikki closing that gap to Rever. So with Rever with 11s and 12s. Sloxy, Nikki 11. So yeah, it's coming down a little bit. And Sloxy with a little bit of a mistake coming out of the first turn. But tucks in behind Nikki. So all good. And the gap to Petrol, 2.4 Petrol also. Now back into the groove, into rhythm. Oh, someone at a moment. I see yellow flag happening. What happened? It is Shadow. Shadow dropped all the way down to P9. Oh, we are too late. He lost it. Probably same mistake that Petrol had. Yeah, oh, power oversteer. And the car just went. It's P9. Gap to Rever, 2.2 seconds. Nikki and Sloxy catching also Petrol with 2 seconds in P12. Trying to join in that group. At the sharp end, it is our Lapin GT and Raymac F1 for P1R in the lead since basically the start of the race. The gap to Lugi now 3.7 seconds, who still leads that chase group. Put down one driver. We saw that spin for Shadow. Mike now running with him. Then we have the two P1R drivers, Sorte and Old Banger, P5, P6. Toby another 2 seconds in P7. And P8 we have Rever for P1R. And we should see the 3 race time drivers, Shadow, Lil Nicky and Sluxy. They're bringing that gap down to Rever. So it's 2 seconds for now. And we are on lap 7 out of 19. You would probably just be okay. And maybe a splash and dash needed, and let's have a little bit of a guess with the tire wear so far. So 7 laps in, 12 and a half to go. Maybe 5 laps on softs, or you just do 8 to 9 on the mediums and then mediums again. Well, this would be my guess now, looking at the first 15 minutes of this race. Yeah, Mike looking after his tires. Sorte is pushing already. Has a 1.1 second gap to his teammate, just performed the overtake. Toby 2.7 to Old Banger. It's yeah, pretty much the same lap times so far. Sluxy and Little Nicky are swapping positions. Not sure if it was intentionally a 2 minute 13.6. That looked more like a mistake for Nicky, which gives Petrol now a little bit of a tow. 1.2, 1.3. Shadow under 2 seconds now on the gap to Rever for a brief moment at least, coming out of the actually tricky left-hander. We saw a couple of mistakes there already. But you have to be aggressive, I think, if you want to get the run for this long straight uphill as well. It's 1.8 now, 1.7. Toby 6.6 seconds the gap, losing a little bit of time to Old Banger. 3.4 it is for now, so we'll stay with Rever and Shadow. This could be the next battle, and on track. Shadow with a bit of a moment onto the bridge, lost 2/3. It's off the bridge and another 2/10 gone. Have to wait. Not the best lap, definitely. Nearly a second down on his personal best. Petrol now caught Lil Nicky and Sluxy. Nicky with a bit of a wiggle out of the final turn. Early upshift. Petrol, so definitely saving a little bit of fuel. Yet to push probably to get into slipstream range again after the mistakes. But now it gets a really nice run through the S's. Goes very wide, nearly touches the grass again. Once again, that rear. The slipstream now, probably tough for Nicky to defend. Nicky lifted in earlier, trying to go for the cutback, but didn't work. So Petrol upper position, P11. Onto the bridge you go once again, taking the risk with the inside curb. Stay in within 3/4. Again, it looks sketchy. Especially coming off the bridge, the rear getting loose with that bump unsettles the car for both of the drivers this time around. And Nicky with a good run. Will he go for a move into the final turn? No, he probably stays behind. Going for the better run into turn number 1, and the first drivers are pitting. Rever is in, and also Petrol heading in. So this is a one stop on mediums then for those two drivers. Moving up the order, so Toby in P7, Old Banger P6, Sorte in P5. 2.8 seconds the gap to Mike and Lugi, P4 and P3. A gap to Raymac and Lapin GT, 3.5 seconds. Well, now, so was this like foreshadowing with a strategy for everyone? Lap 10, or is someone gonna risk it and go for the softs? Mike's Tires looking better than those in front of him. He could be a candidate to risk the soft tires, but I would expect to see the one stop on the mediums for the majority of the grid, to be honest. Looking at Lepin's tires, yeah, probably not ideal anymore. Will it be? Pit? No. Box, no. Stay out. Lugi Mike 3-4, Sorte pitting. Okay, he's going for the medium. Old Banger is in as well. Toby staying out. What's Races Adam's strategy? Is running longer on the mediums. Shadow, Sluxy, and Nicky. So the first of the pit stoppers on track. I think it will be Sorte. And yeah, he definitely needs some fuel. So not even close to a splash and dash. I was kind of off with that call. It definitely put in more fuel compared to Old Banger, so maybe he wants to like sand it, floor it. Don't care about the fuel, but it's just 3 liters per second the refueling rate. So maybe, oh no, it's saving a little bit of fuel. Could be the faster approach overall. I'm pretty sure Sorted can push now all the way to the end. River also pitted, and Petrol. So the bottom 4 pitted. Then let's wait for our leaders. End of lap 11. The gap coming down. Mike now up to P3, under 3 seconds. The gap to Raymack, so a tire advantage, I think, now for Mike is clearly visible. I think the top 2 are also trying to go with a medium soft strategy. Mike in P3, 2.8. It is Lugi 1 second behind his teammate Toby in P5. 11-12 seconds. It is currently Shadow and Sluxy also running for another lap. Nicky doing the same. Sorte up to P9, got past Old Banger on fresh mediums. Same here for Rever and Petrol. Is it a risky strategy to go for the softs? Is it faster? I don't know. But I'm pretty sure the drivers did some practice. And it's their call. It's what they feel more comfortable with. Right. It could be maybe running until the fuel gets very, very low. And Lugi is struggling a little bit now to keep up with Mike's pace. Mike wasn't gaining on this lap so far. Still 3 seconds to Raymack and Lepin at the end of lap 12. So if they can manage to run 2 more, then I think soft tires will work. Are they in? No. Lapin in, Mike as well, Lugi as well. So 7 laps then to go for Travis. Toby coming in. Shadow. What happened? Another mistake. What was that? Oh, final turn. Touched the grass with the rears. Luckily, it is the in lap, but still lost some time. So, Raymack going for a very long medium tire stint, and Lapin and Mike now next to each other. Mike saved some fuel right behind Lapin now. I think that's the battle for virtual P1. And so far Mike, I think, with a brilliant strategy and saving a little bit of tires and fuel, and both are on the racing soft tire compound. Here we go. Russ now pushing, trying to open up a little bit of a gap. 7/10 for now. And Mike under-fueled a little bit. So he was probably hoping to stay with Lapin and to be able to save a little bit of fuel. And half a second for now. So this is very interesting. 29 the gap to Raymack, who's now low on tires and fuel. So this will be the in lap. And in he goes. Lapin was leading and Raymack was sitting behind. Maybe he could save a little bit of fuel. So maybe that overcut could work in pit lane, putting in less fuel compared to Lapin and Mike as well. Still refueling, and still sitting in pit lane. I don't think that overcut worked. No. He might also lose that position to Lugi. Lugi comes around. Raymack just in front with a second. Now, and Lugi within slipstream range it is. So Mike 9/10 now. To Lapin, Lugi P4 Sorte, P5 Old Banger, P6 Toby, P7 Rever in 8th. Sluxy in P9. Shadow P10. Petrol in 11th. He's on mediums, and Nicky on softs in P12 and 2.5 seconds. So let's have a look at the battle for the lead. Lapin pushing 1.2, 1.3 nearly the gap. And also Raymack versus Lugi, 7/10 the gap between the two. Ooh, half a second for Lugi. Sorte an Old Banger, P5, P6, Toby, Rever. No close battle between the mid-pack drivers, so we jump back to the lead. Can Lapin pull that gap? Can he get out of slipstream range? It's 1.1 at the moment, so Mike's still hanging in there. The fuel still a bit low compared to our lap-in. So he basically needs to stay in the slipstream. I reckon, at least. We'll see. So 2.5, then the gap to Raymac in P3. Let's compare the fuel. Yeah, Raymac also more fuel to Mike, so this could be very, very tight for Mike towards the end of the race with that fuel. Lugi, after serving the penalty, dropped out of the slipstream range. It's 2 seconds for now. Sorte with a great comeback drive. P12 after turn 1, lap 1, up to P5 again. The gap to Oldbanger, 2 seconds, so another 8 to Toby. And it's 4 to Reverend Sluxy within a second. Now heading on to the back straight. Also Shadow is close. Getting a tow from Sluxy down that back straight. 8/10 for now. Rever is on the mediums. Sluxy and Shadow are on the soft tires, so for now they definitely have the tire advantage and should probably get the overtake done very soon, and then it's probably survive on those softs until the end of the race. Both Sluxy and Shadow more pace than on those soft tires. Maybe a move into turn number 1 for Slugs. See, it's 4/10. Oh, touch the wall. That's not helpful. It's getting slowed down. Sluxy up the position, P8. Shadow now also with the run. Uphill we go. Turn in early, more grip. But there's probably here through the S's single file. So wait for the straight. Good exit this time for Shadow. More grip. And goes now for the overtake and gets a little bit of a tow there on that straight. So overtake. Now upper position just though. The tow wasn't as big as I had expected. It's P8, P9 for now. Mike, that gap to Lapin under a second again, 8/10. Raymac with the fastest lap of the race so far, 2 seconds to Mike. So we'll see, Lugi couldn't keep up with that pace. It's 4.4 for now. The gap to Sorte under 5 seconds. This looks like it could be a 3-way fight for the victory between Lapin, Mike and Raymac. Raymac with some serious pace after the pit stop, bringing that gap down. Mike's fuel, yeah, I think he could save a little bit, nearly on the same level as Lapin. His tires though look really good. It definitely has found a way to be fast and save a little bit of those front tires. So 7/10 it is for now, and gaining on the back straight a little bit at least. I think it was an early upshift to 6th gear, so still saving some fuel. Interesting. And Raymack also now joining this party. 2.1 to his teammate. Just outside of slipstream range now. Lugi, the gap going up and up, so he cannot go. That pace is insane at the front, by the way. Lugi and Sorte, P4, P5, Old Banger in P6. That's like, yeah, for quite some time now, those gaps. Nothing really changes. Toby in P7, Sluxy in 8th, and Shadow in P9 for Race Asylum. Then we have Rever in 10th position. But Rever is really low on fuel. Don't think he'll make it, to be honest. Nikki, 2.3 seconds to gap, and Petrol in P12, 3 seconds on the mediums. But a bit concerned here for Rever. That fuel is the lowest I've seen. What happened to Mike? Mike dropped down to P3, 2 minute 14.9, lap 17. So there was a mistake somewhere, and he lost the slipstream now. So we have Leppin and Raymack again leading this race, separated by just half a second. So Mike in 3rd. Lugi P4. See, Nikki got past Rever, so I think Rever is like on a very ambitious fuel saving mission and to get this car to the finish line. So Nikki up to P10. Sluxy in 9th. Shadow got past his teammate, and they're catching Toby as well. The gap to Old Banger, though, it's 9.6 at the moment. Probably not possible with 1.5 laps to go. Sort is still in P5, 5 seconds. That gap to Lugi in P4. Woo! That rear. 3 seconds to Mike in P3. 2.6 to Raymack and Leppin. Coming round. Mike is pushing now, I think. It's 2.5. And yeah, not much time left. Penultimate time through the final turn. And we will see now the final lap of this race. Leppin leading with Raymack right behind, 2/10, 2.7 seconds to gap to Mike in P3 for Race Asylum, Lugi P4, Sorte in P5 for Race Asylum, Old Banger P6. And we have Toby, Shadow, Sluxy and Nikki all for Race Asylum. Rever, he has to pit, he cannot make it. So that's probably a P12 finish then, and Petrol in P11, 7 seconds. That gap now to the final lap. The gap between the top two and Mike stays at 2.7. Raymack takes the lead. Is there a bit of a fuel concern? I don't know. No, they're just going back and forth. 2.5 to Mike. Oh, is it? They're racing each other. What the hell? They're having some fun on that final lap. Mike is still there, under 2 seconds. And the fuel, I think it should be okay. So, approaching the final turn, it looks like Lapin will get a birthday gift. Gets the race victory. Raymac takes P2 and the fastest lap of the race, and Mike finishes in P3 on the podium for his asylum. Lugi then crosses the line in P4, Sorte in 5th, Old Banger P6 it is. Then we have Sluxy in 7th position, Shadow P8, Lil Nicky in 9th, Petrol in 10th, and Toby. What happened to Toby on that final lap? He's on low fuel and dead tires, and Rever running out of fuel. Maybe you see it's a run to the line. He just makes it. Rever in 11th and Toby P12 for the race. Alright. So let's quickly go to the results screen, and I'll try and add the results into my spreadsheet. So you just bear with me for a hot second. So Alapin winning, Raymac P2 and the fastest lap P3 for Mike, and P4 it is Oogie. P5 we have Sorte 13, Old Banger P6, P7 we have Sluxy in 8th, it is Shadow. And yeah, and Nicky P9, Petrol finishing 10th, Rever P11, and Toby P12. So, just double check to see, but this sounds reasonable. So, let me see if I can bring that up. So that looks like provisional race results. P1R 70 points and Race Asylum 46 points. And if we don't get like any hiccups with my scores, and probably racing, we saw a couple of incidents, but mostly self-inflicted, I reckon. So if it stands like this, then we can all congratulate P1R then early for winning Group B. So yeah, definitely an interesting race. Probably not everyone pleased with it. Looking at Petrol maybe. So you had quite some pace, an unlucky race, but it is what it is in those races. So yeah, that's the P1R versus RA race in the books. Let's have a quick look at the remaining schedule. Then for match day number 9 tomorrow, ART versus DTR on the DTR YouTube channel. On Sunday we have 3 matches running: MRL versus Gen X on the Gen X YouTube channel, AHR versus ZFS in Group B. So whoever wins will get P2 in the group between those two. And Also, we see Group A, BFS versus CLR. And then next week, it is P1RX versus TCR. And for the final race for match day number 9. All right. So that's it from my side. Have a nice rest of your day and a great weekend. I hope to see you soon again. And Sunday, BFS versus CLR on this channel. Yeah. Maybe something for you. But yeah. Take care, everybody. Have a good time and see you very, very soon. Goodbye.